Hello everyone. So in today's video we are going to continue developing our shop system that we had before. But now we are just going to do the front end. So before, in the previous video, which I'm going to link in the description, we had a payment service, order service, and notification service. And now the plan is that the user gets into the UI, to the website, and see the products and order them, pay them, and then get the notification that the payment is successful. We are going to do the notification with signal R. So the plan is that when the payment service tells the notification service through Dapr pubsub that the payment has been successful, the notification service will just publish a message on signal R, and then we are going to receive the notification. But before doing that, we are going to create a front-end domain. So the plan is to let's do a shop domain, and let's get into it. Well, I also do the domain on the front end because it can happen that this shop also has an admin view, so we have to use the same models, the same logics, and so on. So I'm going to share some codes in the domain. Let's initialize a new TypeScript project. So I'm going to install TypeScript, and in the scripts I'm going to add a new build, and that would be TSC. We actually need another package, rough. This package helps us like to remove the destination folder, like the build folder. So it's like run rough test and then run the TypeScript. Oh, don't overwrite that. If I do the compare. Okay, just this line is new, so we're going to remove this too. Open this again, and then do this. So here is our, so the domain project is nothing big, it's not a big deal. So we are going to add a src folder, and we need a tsconfig. I'm going to choose a really simple one, like from my previous projects. Let's just pick this one. So there. And this video, so it's not about TypeScript. I'm not going through what is it with this tsconfig file. I'm going to just let's just develop the UI now. So let's open the UI, the domain inside the new VS Code, and now we have this RC. So inside the src I'm going to add models, and I'm going to add the model base.ts, which will be our base inside the other projects. So if I go here, I have payment, and all of them has this ID, order also. So the models on the front end is going to be a combination of the payment, order, and notification service. And notification service doesn't have any models for now. So let's just start with this. So we have product and order and payment. Export default abstract class model base. There is something that some people, they do an interface inside with these models. I prefer classes when I'm doing the REST API because it's easier to like add the computed on the model itself, and then you don't need to like repeat the some conversions and so on as a function inside the different components in Vue. But if you use GraphQL, then it's a little bit tricky to do this if you're doing TypeScript. So it's good that with GraphQL you do an interface and then do the functions with the GraphQL. But for REST API, I use classes and abstract classes. So here comes a mandatory string. So not really the I'm not going to create the products in this like for now. I'm going to add the products by hand. So the reason that I was thinking about the idea is that I can make it nullable, because when you are creating a new actually when you're creating a new order also it is nullable, so we can do this. The reason that I initialize it with null and not a question mark is that when you are going to use this model base extended with like product or order and then use it inside your component, if this is nullable and you want to watch this property or watch your whole object, and if this is undefined like with a question mark, view will never act to its changes, even if it's like getting to null or getting a value. It's because that whenever the view component is getting loaded, it will go through the object and then will pick the values, will watch their values. But if you set it to undefined, the value is not there, because if you set it like this, at the end it is a JavaScript, and then when it is built to JavaScript will just remove it, what's that. So it will not be there and view will not watch it. So the next one is product.ts, payment.ts, and order.ts. So let's go on and add the product. So what did we have on the back end? There's actually, it's also possible to create these TypeScript models with the Swagger UI, Swagger schemas, but that will create some unnecessary codes we may not need. So let's go on and then create them by hand here. So export default class, product extends base, and then we have, let's see if I have set this up here too, so I can get rid of these and these, and these are all not string. So this is a string, this is a number, and this is also number, JavaScript. So do I have this case? No. There is an extension I would like to introduce here. If I can find it. Change case, yep, that's it. And now I can say make this camel case. Actually, I can now select multiple ones. I can't. This and this. So the name can be null. The quantity can be 0. And the price can be 0. And we also, when we are going to read it from the front end, of course we can always cast, but the reason that I create the constructor to build it with the constructor is that, let me create this. If you just cast it to this class, to this type, And if you have a getter here, it will not use the getter anymore. So you have to initialize the class with the constructor. When you are getting your JSON from the backend, you have to initiate it with the constructor to get the class implementation of whatever you have inside there. So now let's do this object.assign this and input. Why is it mad? Oh, yeah, of course, it needs to separate. I removed it, it's because of the extension. So this is the product. It has orders. Yeah, I'm not going to receive that from the I don't care about that on the product when I'm receiving it. So export default class payment extends model base. So let's see what we have in payment. Actually, on the payment, we also don't need it on the front end for now, because basically payment is something that we are going to work with it either in admin view or in the backend to confirm it and then send the notification. So we won't need it here. We need order to fulfill the order on the front end. We would need the payment if we are going to have a admin view too. But maybe also that model should not be inside the domain because it's not shared between the two, so it should be inside the its own UI. So export default class order extends model base. And what do we have inside? There. So we have the product ID, we have the quantity. So the order is something that I'm going to send to the backend. So I need a product, I need to send a product ID, would be like this. It is a GUID, so it should be string, and it's mandatory fields, it should be there. We have quantity, number, and the value by default is 1. We have the unit price. Well, we don't need to send the unit price, yeah, so the frontend should not be able to send the unit to change the unit price. And we don't need the status and we don't need the product, so that would be it. So I'm going to do the same that I did for creating it. I'm going to say object a noun or order or noun, and by default it's noun, because when I want to create a new one I don't want to pass anything. So if it's a if not object, then maybe let's also get the product ID, or actually it doesn't, this is fine, doesn't matter. So if object, if it exists, then do this, and this object will assign this an object. And so far that would be it for our domain. Actually it doesn't have that much right now, but normally you are going to add more into it. So let me see, this is fine, right? So now let's build it, see if everything gonna work fine. Well, it's not gonna work fine because
Many hours later.
So there was an issue with the tsconfig file. So it's good that most of the time I have it inside the template, so I don't go through it every time. And I have copied it from a Vue project, and in the Vue project it doesn't create the type definitions and so on, because that doesn't matter. But when you're creating a package and you want to use it inside TypeScript, you're gonna need the type definitions. And here we needed the declaration, so it would create the DTS files when it's building the project. And I have forgot to put the output directory. So now it is there, it is inside this, and inside your package JSON, you would tell that my types are inside this, and the main is the index.js file. Actually, this is also inside this. And yeah, so let's now go to the UI project. So we are going to go back, cd, view, create, shop UI. We are going to use Vue 2 because we are going to use Vuetify, and I think Vuetify is not yet ready for Vue 3. Oh, okay, the target release is changed. Now it's changed to soon. Let's see how soon this is gonna be. I forgot something. That's not right. That's not right at all. Explorer. We have shop UI. No. I forgot to customize it because I want a TypeScript Vue project. So Vue create shop UI, and go down. We have TypeScript. We want bubble. We don't want this. We need a router. The Vuex. We won't need the CSS preprocessors. We would need. We want linter unit tests. So go here too. Classes side, yes. Yes. Use history mode, no. We would not use history mode for the router because we are going to later run it inside Kubernetes. So I always use the hashtag so I know that this is a Vue project and so on. You can save. Executed config files, yes, and
More moments later.
okay, so now the UI is created with Vue. Now let's see what's inside. That was a mistake. I should have closed that, but I can open it here. So the first thing to do is to add that domain to this project, and to do that you have to just say npm I. Here you don't have a package, so you have to give it an address. So I think it's fine. So I was thinking to name the domain's project name. So normally when I have a domain, I will call it, like, for example, for this project I have shop minus domain. I normally make it @shop/domain and make a new namespace for this project. But it's okay, we can also do it this way. So npm I, normally I would do that, but let's do that, it's fine. Let's go here and then go to the shop domain. So you don't need to build it, so you just need to change this. And then I can come back and then do npm I shop domain. And now the difference is that I'm going to show you what's the difference. So here, if I go, I can see that shop domain is added, but as a file, which makes sense. So now let's actually come here. We have to, this is already fine, it's okay. So now let's see what do we have inside this project. npm run serve. Normally when two developers are working on such project which the frontend is not included in the backend code, it's fine that the front-end developer can just start developing whatever they have to develop, and then the backend developer also develops, and then at the end they attach it together, which is called like end-to-end method. But since I was just one, so I went the backend first and then now the front-end. So here's our project. So now let's see how can we develop our front end. We need Vuetify to change some stuff and make it nicer for the components and so on. So I'm going to go on and edit, and I think it's possible to do it like this. Yes, no. Yes. It's going to create a new folder there, and with Vuetify 3. Okay, good. So they have it. Nice. They are working on it.
Many minutes later.
Okay, so now the Vuetify is added. It's time to configure our REST endpoints. Normally, it's better like to create modules with Vuex and then like have a module for product, a module for the payments, orders, and so on, and handle the rest inside that. But with Vuex and TypeScript, it's a little bit, it can get a little bit messy, especially in the older Vuex, the one that's working with Vue 2 right now. But that works perfectly with Nuxt. So in Nuxt you can create your modules. You have a modules folder, and then you can just write the modules, and the configuration of the Vuex is on Nuxt. Nuxt will take care of it. But for now, we are not going to do modules. We are going to just do a controller model, like an MVC kind of thing on the front end. So let's see. I'm going to add a new controller. Sorry, this one should be services. So it's either services or HTTP. Everything regarding your calls to the outside, like to the backends, will be here. So if you call it services, maybe you can also configure your GraphQL there too, if you have a GraphQL server. So I'm going to create an index.ts. I'm going to put my Axios setup here, but first we have to install it. And then this is wrong. Okay, so import Axios and Axios instance from Axios. So for this project, it didn't matter that I can't create an index.ts, but generally you would need to do this because you need to configure some interceptors on your Axios. So if I open it, if you see this, I can create an interceptor for my request and say, okay, now whenever a request wants to go out, do this configuration, or whenever a response comes, handle it like this before you pass it to the component. But for this project, we don't need to do that. We are going to keep it simple. I'm just going to assume that we have a configuration on this Axios, and then for example, on your request, you want to always pass an access token. So you will always add it in the request, in the authorization header, and send it. But for now, we are going to think like this Axios is what we need, and then we are going to be able to access it globally. So to do that, we have to, so with TypeScript we can declare globals like this, and then you can say I have an Axios, so I don't expect it to change. It's of type Axios instance, and that's it. So if I go on and then do this now, it's not possible because it says this is an any type. So I need to also tell TypeScript that this property that I'm going to set here has a type, it's not any. So it will be like this. I say Axios, it is an Axios instance. And now I can access it everywhere. So now actually let's try it out. So I'm going to create a controllers folder and also an endpoints folder. New folder, endpoints. And for here I need a .env file too. So I know when you create a .env file in a Vue project, it doesn't matter, it's not a configuration, but you can separate the configs while you're building the project and give it like different, build your project for different environments, like for staging, for production, for testing, and so on. So that's why I create mostly a .env file. And in the vue.env file, you have to start everything with vue_app. So when you are building the project, Vue can like pick them and then put them into the build. So this means that you should not put any credentials here because it will be available in the front end and the client in the browser. So API base URL, and this will be actually here we have for now one. So it's like the orders service. If I have them, I think I have them open here. Yeah. So this is our order service from last time. I'm having it running, and this one takes care of the order and the product. The payment is not here, but normally if you want to like have multiple, you can have multiple URLs here and configure Axios like for each of them. And actually that's something I think right now we can configure with Axios. In Axios, if I'm not mistaken, we can set a base URL. Let's see, or is it Axios base URL? Yeah, it is possible, but not with our. This is possible, we can do that. So we can say const Axios is Axios.create, give the base URL, and the base URL will be process.env.vueapp, whatever we called it here. And if it is not there, just set it to empty. So instead of initializing with Axios here, we initialize it with this one. And so now it has our base URL. I have to see if this works with my approach right now, but let's see. Let's see. So every time this is already set, we don't need to build that, and then we go to the endpoints, and then we create like orders.ts. So it is wrong. How we built our backend should have been different. We have the products inside the orders service. We had to have an inventory service and put them there. But for now, it is okay because like the main topic is not about the architecture, which is like there a bit, but it's mostly about the technologies that are going to attach them together. So export defaults. Here we are going to have that's the thing. So I've created myself a new package that will give me the possibility to define these URLs. But I don't have them, I don't have it here. I'm going to like fake it. So I say I want a list of orders, and let's see what did we do. What was the controllers here? Order service controllers. Have I created? Yeah, I don't need the orders list. I need products. Okay. So products. What are my? Okay, so I have products, and I have. So it's a REST and create product is a post. Okay. So for this thing, I'm going to say it is. So the URL is products, and the method is get. Just do it like this. Now I'm going back to my controllers. I'm going to create a products controller ts and export default products controller. It's a class, and get list. It's going to return the promise of product. So this product comes from our backend, our domain, and it's an array. I have to check though if the type of this is there. Yeah, okay, it's fine. And now let's return it actually. So return new promise of this. Then and oh no, sorry, resolve and reject. And here I say, okay, now give an access instance. This is the global access that we have registered, and the URL is products.list that URL. Method is products.list that method, and there's no data, it just loads everything. Then this is not yet a product list, so I'll just create response and catch. I'm going to reject with error. So now I have the data const products. Actually, I'm going to change it so response the data as product. So what does it return? It's a list of product. Okay. So now let's see what's wrong. Where is let or okay? So let's use let. You can go on and then configure slint2, so it will be less restrictive. So now let's do this. Products.map p is new product and then p. So this way I am initializing also my products with the actual class. In the snippet never used. Now we are going to use it and return it. So this controller now is like isolated, and the only job it does is just to create my product model product instances, and just it will be used in other components. So this way it's not like bundle like it's binded with anything else view wise. You can also if it is shared between your business logics, you can also put it inside your domain, and then it will even make it more reusable. So now let's create a products page. So let's put them here. It's fine. Products view that view. Did I really do that? Don't. Okay. I'm not gonna keep this too, so I'm going to also go to router I hate this router, but I'm gonna keep it for now like this, because if you do this like here, it will be really messy at the end, especially when you have some nested routes. I'm going to link something, an article in the description. You can use that to clean this up. But for now, it is fine. We are going to use this import that we have here. What it does, so that's what they actually are telling. So it uses lazy loading. Whenever the application is being loaded, it's not loading all of the code together. It will chunk them and then it loads the chunks whenever they are needed. This way the application will load faster, especially for like a really large front-end application. So we are going to use the same also for this part. It is products and the path is products. And so now we are going to import. Can I also use the TypeScript global? Yep. Use, and then we have products. View, and then we don't have this path. So now let's see if it is working. So here, I guess we do have this router view. We don't need the, so we do have the vue-routers. Yeah, let's use this one. So I would still use this one. I may change some stuff. Let's see how actually it does look like. I forgot. So npm run, no, npm run search. Router index.ts home view is never used. Okay, I like it all green and blue. It's nicer. So here we won't need this part, and maybe we add a new menu for getting into products. So let's do that. Inside here, before this vspacer, so in Beautify, this vspacer is what makes these two parts separated. This vspacer comes in between here. So I'm going to get rid of, actually I'm going to use it, but here. Now, where is it? Yep, there. And I want to go to products page. And icon, doesn't need an icon for now. It's not an href, it's a target blank, and it is a 2. Like this. And the name is products. So you see what happened here is that it should be like this. So it is changing the route, and we already have the router view. So now let's go here at our. I don't have the. I don't. Okay, doesn't matter. We are going to create it on own, and we don't have the styles. So here the template. Let's give it something quick for now. And products will be here, there, and now it knows it's here. Let's be a little bit picky, and then come here and then add ml4. Okay, good. So let's start. I'm going to use view property decorator, this one. I'm using the class components, so I need view, I need components for now, and then I'm going to say export default class products view extends view, and then it's a component. So the difference here is that this is products view here. If you notice, I think, yeah. So this is the options API. This is the class component API. I think this is no longer supported in Vue 3. It is, you can use it, but not, I think, with composition API. With composition, and now we have the new API, which is the composition API. So if you look, you see that there are some stuff different. So here we have everything as an object, and here we are creating a class. And we have to specify the name and the data here, but here the name will be picked from this one. But you still can access the elements from there, here, for example. So now let's see what we want to do. So here we want to, whenever the products page loads, we want to fetch our products. So we need the data. The data here in the class component is just a simple property in TypeScript classes, or in TypeScript classes, right? So products, and let's say it's a product here, and it's empty. Don't forget, you should not make it undefined. It will not work. So you have, even if you make it undefined, you have to have an initializer. So and then init products function, it's a void, and now what it does is that it needs new products controller, and then get list, and then put the products is like this, the products is products, just like that. So on the mounted, we expected this to run. So when we are going to mount, let's say this that init products. So now let's see what happens. Let's go back to the front end. So nothing here yet. Let's go here and then open the dev consoles. We have an error, but I want something else to see. Okay, that's the error. In promise reverse axis is not defined. Okay, that's new. Let's see why. Let's see why. Apparently we are being tricked. Endpoints index the controller. So we okay. We have this here, but we never called for it. So I'm going to add it at the very beginning of this, and I'm going to do it like this. Services. So now let's check again. Okay, you see it has been through. It did a call, but I want to know to where. So it is to localhost 8080. Localhost 8080. So it didn't really care about base URL. I don't like that. I think that's why I had this before. This is the Axios I wanted, and it should normally use this base URL, unless that it is using this. Yeah, of course, we have not configured it. HTTP localhost. What did we call it? Which port is it running on? 5000. There. And then we have to reload because it doesn't watch the env files. Reload. So where is it now? Okay, now it is to the correct path, but let's see what's happening. I know what's happening. It is not allowing this origin to go through. Is this a guess? Why this green? Yeah, okay, course failure. So let's fix that. We have the, I think we have the configuration. I hope we have the configuration, so we just need to change the app settings. Load hosts is everything, but that's also wrong. So let's see.
One eternity later.
After wasting some hours, I've realized why my course config is not working. If you remember in the last video, we have created a Docker file which is going to copy the publish folder into the app in the container and then run the DLL. Well, I forgot to build the project and publish it, so the Docker file was the same as before. I don't know what to say, but now let's continue. Let's see what happens now. So now it is working. So you see, I will refresh the page. So this is the dev console from the UI, and I now received the answer. So I received the products. I received actually 3 products. One of them doesn't have a name, or actually 2 of them, they don't have a name. You have to replace the name with something on the front end. But now let's also check on the page, because we said that when the products are being loaded, we are going to put them into an array. So here, as you see, it is already here. It's already being loaded here. I think I'm not loading orders. It's not lazy loaded. It's eager loaded. It should be eager loaded if we want to put it there. So that's fine. And yeah, okay. So let's do this. Let's create the cards and then show something on the UI. So here we have the container. The course part was not a front-end issue, it is just a back-end issue, and I had to configure it on the back-end, and that's why it was not there, because I was not building the project. Normally in the company I've developed a CLI for such Docker files. It will build, publish, it's based on the project you are running the CLI on. It will build the project and then creates a Docker the container. But I didn't have it here, and I was used to like just build it, and then I thought why it's not there, and then I saw why. Anyways, so now we have the products accumulated, we have data. We are going to, let's do it with components. So I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it products, and then I'm going to say product card.view, and I'm going to create this component to hold our product cards. So it's the same, it's a class component, so import view component capital C from view property decorator, export default class product card extends view, and this is a component. So here we need something else, we need a property, and it works like this. It says what's the type of my property. It's an object. I'm going to pass the product to it, and I'm going to do it like this. So it's a read-only product, and it should be there, and it's of type product from my domain. And I'm going to use simply vcard, and for the title I'm going to use vcard title. And then here we have the name, so card.name, product.name, and when the name is not there, like let's say unknown product. Something is telling me that this unknown is wrong. Okay, so we need to put the price also there, but I'm going to we have to put it inside a grade, and I'm wondering to put the grade here, or let's put it on the host, on the parent. So we have the card title, and then I think we can use the v spacer to put the price here too. It's fine. It doesn't, so we don't have that much. It doesn't need to be beautiful. So product that unit price, and let's do it like this, and then I add dollars. So where is the? Do I have this Shopify? Okay, so nothing is there right now, but I'm going to add this component, import product card. To register the components, you have to do this with the class component. Comes here, and now let's create a v row, and let's create v columns, and we're going to say put the columns to 12. It's actually a number. On the MD, let's put it to 4, so it's going to be 3. Let's put it to, let's on LG put it to 4, and on XL we're going to put it to 3. Sorry, on LG. Actually that's wrong. 3, 4, and this is on MD. So this means as with this breakpoint, it's going to show us 4 cards in a row. And when it gets to medium, it shows 4, and then after this, let's say on SM, just show 2, and then after that, it just do it one by one. And now here, we need a v4 here. So it is product and index in products. And it's complaining about the key, so put the key here. And now we need the product card. Now you can actually do this kebab case. You can do it like this, but recently I am like making a difference in our code too. So every component that are just inside this project, I'm going to use postal case, because it's easier to identify which ones are being developed here and which ones are being imported as a package or from the domain. And now let's pass the product to this card. And as you see, they have been created. They are not nice, but it does the job for now. So we maybe need to make it come in the middle. So MX also should work or not. It is already in the center. It's just that it doesn't go to the center because it needs 4. But yeah, okay, that's fine. Maybe changing the background color a little bit helps. So app.view, I think it's on the main. Let's see. Let's put it to F. Or a little bit darker. It's better. Now you see contrast. So let's go back. We actually need to add a buy button, so we have to buy them. So here vcard title I think we have vcard actions, but let's see. We actually can go to Beautify and check vcard API. Right. We have vcard actions. So okay, we do have vcard actions. It's a V button and it's a text and says fly. And I think before I put them here, let's make a check here. So before I show them, I'm going to say filter xstat quantity is greater than 0. So now it's changed to just 1, which is fine. And then let's also make this a little bit nicer. Let's make it outlined, and then let's make it primary color, and then also maybe let's make it to the right. Yes. I'm gonna need also a little bit more padding on this, or less padding. Let's actually do it like this. So we have this here, we need a divider, because the header is fine. I just need a little bit padding on here. And yeah, so py2 and px. And here on the action class. Sorry, I'm being a little bit picky. I could do it like nicer, but I'm doing it like that. Py2. Five is too much. 3. I think it would do the job for now. MDI icons by default. Beautify uses material design icons. I'm like, since the theme is developing a frontend, I'm just going through to introduce whatever is there in the frontend. So let's see. We want a cart outline. Cart outline is good. So we have an icon, MDI cart outline. So where are we? It's fine. Smaller. Yep. And let's make it also a bit too. It's good. Looks professional now. Okay, so now we have to. So this button should actually do something, and that would be going to the order page. But do we have an order page? We have an order page to fulfill, so we can directly fulfill it here. So let's see the backend. How was the code? Shop UI services. Yep. So in the orders we have this. So we have a create order, and we have fulfill order. Okay, that's fine. And then what does it? So when I read the order, what does it give me? So it will get the order. Does it also give me the product? Yes, it also sends me the product. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to actually create the order and then go to the order page. So I need orders controller and also the endpoints. Orders ts export default create URL is orders. I think it didn't have a name. method is post, and then we have fulfill. This one does have a name, so it's orders fulfill, and the method is post again, and that's it. So now let's go to orders controller, export default class orders controller, and create order. This one will actually it returns the int, it returns a number. This is the number of this is the order ID, and to create the order I'm going to receive what do I need. So to create the order I need a quantity. Let's just say for now we are going to have one, and we actually can do that too. So we say product ID string, and quantity number is 1 by default. So return new promise number, resolve and reject, and then go on. So what are you complaining about? It says if you are assigning a number, then I know it's number, you don't need to define the type. Okay. So orders that create that URL method, orders create that method, and then the data is what's the normally you have to create a DTO and so on, but I just want to, because by itself this video gonna be like long. Okay, apparently I am setting the quantity myself here, so I'm not, okay, then I just need to send the product ID. So the product ID is the product ID, and with ES6 you don't need to, if the names are the same, you don't need to set the key in the object. And then we have a response, and we have resolve response that data has number, or parse int, that's better, catch reject e. So this means that first here we say click, and then we say create order, and then we go create the function, and then this will be like new orders controller, create order, we already have the product ID, and then we say then this is the order ID now. Okay, this always is there. So we have made the ID nullable, I think, yeah. But since this product is being loaded by the product's endpoint, the ID is always there, so we can just cast it to a string, it's fine. And here we have now the order ID. What should we do with this order ID? We have to go to the order page. So let's create a new route. Actually go here. So here we have orders and we have ID. This is our parameter. And how to map that to the properties? We have to do this orders view first. Actually not orders view, is order view. And the name, so there is, I think, map or props true. This means that like convert it to the props, convert the parameters to props. So let's create a new view, new order view, and then template script in ts import this from view property decorator, and then we do view and component and prop export default class order view extends view, and then we have prop can be string. Here is the JavaScript types, and then read-only ID should match the name, and it is a string, a number string. I mostly make it string because we use UUID, and here we go. So we have a v container, and the v container we say we show this is our order, and then we do the ID to see if the ID is passed. And now here we say this that router the push name is orders, and params is this order ID. And now it is complaining no word matches following error. Okay. So it just wanted the string. So let's go to the page again. These are dev consoles. Now this one. So now let's check, because it's going to be, let's see what will happen. Okay, it went somewhere. Can we see the network? So it did on the orders, it did the post on the orders, but it went nowhere. Let's see why. So we have the order view, and in the index.ts in the router, we have products here. So, which means I have the orders 3. Now, as you see, the 3 is there, but so now we have to fetch the order, or like get the order. So we need a new method. It's like get, and URL is orders, just orders, and the method is get. So now let's see how did we do the backend for getting the order. Controllers, orders, get. So it's from the query, so it's not as a parameter. Good. So this means that here we say get order, promise the order, and give me the order ID string, and return new promise, solve and reject, and we say axios URL is orders.get URL method, orders.get that method, and the params are like the ID, I think. Let's see. Yep, it's the ID, and it's order ID. And then response, resolve response the data as, let's do this first. Const order is the new order with this, and then resolve with the order, and catch, and reject with error. So now let's get it. mounted void order, and it's null by default, because we want to decide if you have to show something up there or not. And new orders controller get order this dot id, and then this contains the order, this dot order is this order. And this means that, let's check it on the front end now, on the UI, actually on the dev console. I think here, are we on the, let's see, where is it? This one. So, network, orders, ID, 500. We have to see what the 500 is about. Let's see if we can check it from here. Order service, yep, there. Okay, so what is it about? Let's go back. Possible object cycle was detected. Okay, I see. I think that's because of the product. We are loading the product, and the product has the order, and yeah, we are not loading the order of the product, but since the order is loaded, .NET Core, EF Core will automatically put the, will like cache the order also for the product, so it gets into a loop.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
The loop is resolved. I thought I have used Newton sub, but I haven't. So with Newton sub, I can say I want to ignore the reference loop, so it doesn't happen that the product goes to order and order goes back to product. Now let's see how will it be in our front end. As you can see in our front end, we have product ID and quantity. We do not have the product, so it wouldn't hurt to add it to the domain. Let's do that. Yep, that's it. It's RC models order and product. Okay. So I think let's see how will it be. So npm run build. City shop domain, npm run build, and so now we have it. Now we have to also refresh this. It does exist, it's just that it got removed and then got back. It doesn't know it yet. It should be there. Meanwhile, maybe we can go to order view and then add some code here. So we are going to, let's do this. So we are going to say vcard, and we are going to say maybe loading as long as order is null, and vcard text, and here we say only show this if order is there. And let's say that we are going to divide it into two sides. One side is the checkout and one side is the product info. So we are going to say vue-row, columns 8, and the other one 4. Okay, so let me check something. Order Okay, the product is not here yet, so we have to do a reload. And on this side, I'm going to, for now, we are just going to simply add a span and class text h5, and it is order.product.name, and if the name is not there, just call it unknown product. And the other one is that, so that's it for the showing the product and maybe also the product description under it. So p order.product.description. I don't know if I have added that on the TypeScript part, but is it? No, this is not the new. No, this is the old one. Yep. So I think I'm also sending that. Let's see. No, there is no description. So we don't need this. And then on the right side, we are going to say, I think we can also say divider again. And we can make it vertical, I think. Let's see. Yes. So now let's add the checkout here. On this column, we are going to write down span class text h5 like order info, and then we are going to, I'm skipping a lot here, but flex column, and then the next one would be div class deflex line center. This one is in a row, and we are going to say price and or actually unit price, and then we are going to say order that I am not sending back the, let's see, what do we have in the order? We should have a unit price. This one, we do have a unit price, but we are not reading it. It's also okay, we can read it here, it's okay. It's just that, so this part is always, I'm going to put it there, it's fine. I don't have the localization, it's okay. And then here I'm going to do this, and then this, and then $. So let's see how will it look like. Then I will change the domain. It is like $1. Okay. Class font with bold and ML auto. So it will be like this, and then this one also. So class text body 1 and these two, and then we can put empty 3. Actually, this should go up. So this, where's the empty? I added an empty here right now. 25. Okay. So this is the unit price, and then we also say what's the quantity. quantity, and then at the end we are going to have a v divider, and then we are going to have like price, and then I'm going to make a getter like total price. I'm really like simplifying it here, but it's almost like this. So if not order, not this dot order, return 0, and regardless return this return so unit price is this dot order dot unit price. There we need to add it to the domain. So we're going to the domain, and here, and npm run build again, we're going to wait. After we are actually done with this, there is one step. So the plan is that when we fulfill the payment, we are going to receive a message from Signaler, and it's fine. We can stay in the order page to see that message, but later you can also like make it globalized, like show the message like everywhere, from everywhere on the application, because the user will not always stay here. npm run serve is the order that unit price is the order that quantity, and then return the unit price. And actually no, this is the price. So normally it's not this simple. You have tax calculation, you have the seller's fee calculation, but we are keeping it simple. Oh, total price. And then we wait. There. So the price is also there, and now we need a checkout button. So at the very end, we are going to say v button, no, and this button is block, and we are going to say no, we are going to say checkout. And the color gonna be primary, so it will be the face like that, and then we're going to do class mp6. Okay, so yeah, here is our simple checkout page, and now let's do the checkout. So the checkout means that we have to fulfill the order. So to do that, we are going to say click order. Actually, now we have to see that if, so let's also open Postgres. In the payment service, we have to see some payments, and let me check on which I'm running. So I have to run on Kubernetes. I have to cancel this, and then make a checkout function, and then here, so new orders controller. We don't have it yet, we will add it. Fulfill order. So let me see, I think for the fulfill order we only have the order ID. So controller fulfill order, this guy, order ID. We just need to send the ID. And so here it will be, and does it return anything? No. So it is a promise and it is void, so it doesn't do anything. So maybe just a message that says the order was successful. And now return again. When you do the order, you have to like redirect the user to the order page, to the payment page. Like if PayPal, or in case of PayPal, you have to redirect them. I think Stripe also, no, Stripe you can just do it. Send the card info, but that depends also on the payment method. But anyways, we are going to return a new promise, resolve and reject, and fulfill order, access. We have to also add the endpoint. I do already have it. Nice. So URL, orders, fulfill URL, method, orders, fulfill method, and the it's a post method, so it needs ID, and I need to do the order ID string. Send the order ID, and that's it. But then we don't expect anything, so we are going to just resolve and on catch. We may get an error, so we're going to say reject with this error. Nice. Now on the checkout, we have new controller, but fulfill order, this.order.id, and if not this.order, just return. So now this is fixed. Is it a number? String. So let's do it like that. Okay. Yeah, it's because that the ID is also string or null, so we have to say it is gonna be there, and we are sure it's going to be there. And then on success, I'm just going to say alert payment service. And so we did change this. The order view is there. So now let's go on and change stuff here. So shop services, we have to do another build. So we have again. So .NET build first. Release. .NET publish release. And then we are going to deploy again. Load, and then here. So service RC10 there, and that's it. So let's also do the deployment in Kubernetes. Do I have Kubernetes open? Well, this Vuejs looks like Kubernetes at some points. Deployments, of course I have to log in again. We will log in again. And the order service needs to change. Update. else. I have to check my audio input. Okay, I'm doing the wrong audio input, but I hope the sound is not a problem. So now it is up and running. Now let's try it here, not here, here. npm run serve. Are we on port 5000? Yes. And we have to make sure that the service is still running. It's better that after deployment, if you are doing a port forward, reset the port forward, because it kills the pod. Sometimes it happens that the connection is lost. So let's see. Now let's do the checkout. Okay, so now let's go back to our Postgres. I didn't expect it to do this. Sometimes confuse my password. Okay. So let's see, we had this shop and the orders. Actually, we have to check the payments. So schemas, tables, and payments. All rows. So this is 1, and the reference has been 1. So now we have to create another one, and the reference should be 3 based on our order ID. So let's check out. I was going to send a message, right? Or I'm not. Let's refresh the page. Yes, check the payment service and run this again. Yes, so now we have a payment, it's pending, and that's nice. But I think on the notification service, where is it? No, that's not it. In Kubernetes. On the notification service, we also get a message here right now. Have I added signaler here? No. I didn't know. I have forgot that we have a mediator here. Notifications controller. But that doesn't matter. So let's go to the next step. Then we are going to the notification service to see what's wrong there. So now the plan is that we have to receive the message that the payment has been successful or the order is waiting for the payment without this alert. So the message should come from the notification service. So let's see how will this be done. Actually, I think right now, since we have this error, it's going to retry until something happens. So it can be message payment status paid. This is old. And this one is new. If the message, let's see if we are making it success or we are throwing an error or we are just logging the error. So if I go to the notification, I just want to make sure about something because then that would be cool. So this is the notify, and then this is the nope. This is the command. So we do return not implemented exception. The method operation is not implemented. Okay. So I want to see if I'm gonna get this message twice. Not implemented. Yes, we have it actually 3 times. So that's good because I think it's also from last time too. This is failing, and from last time we had a fulfilled order and a paid payment. So there were 2 notifications pending there and 1 here. So when now we build signaler, we have to see that we have to get through notifications. So because it is there, and that's nice because we have not lost any data. So now let's see how we are going to do that. Okay, so up to this point, it is kind of clear that how this frontend works, this frontend backend connection. Now let's add some cool stuff. So we are going to NuGet and signaler. This is new. We are going to go through it together to see how can we handle it. This package has been deprecated. Legacy. No longer. This package has been deprecated as part of. Learn more about it from GitHub. So let's see if there is any new packages. Signaler doesn't occur. What else? Samples, not samples. TypeScript, server concepts, hubs, and if possible, or maybe it is there by default. I hope not, but let's see. So this is a notification service program builder that services that add. Oh, they have changed it, so it is there always now. And then we need to add a hub. So app.map hub and okay, so let's create a folder. So the hubs are the place that we are going to connect from our frontend to, and then open a socket connection. So hubs notification hub. Let's see this. Namespace notifications that service that hubs public class notification hub, and it is a hub like this. And now let's go back to see how is it. I've done this like before, but now I have kind of forgot most of it. So program, not in .NET 6 actually, .map hub notification hub, and then to notifications. Okay, so that's it. I don't know if the hub we have to add anything in it, because we are not going to subscribe to anything, like just going to subscribe to this URL. Let's send a message, send async. Hubs. Let's try something. I'm going to have now inside my controller, I'm going to have in the controller. Oh no, it's not in the controller. In here, in the commands. This one. So in the constructor, we have iHub context, and this is a notification hub, and this is just hub context, and like this, read only, and this clients with client. All send async. Okay, so here for now we are going to send the message to everyone. That's not right. Or not. Let's not do that. We are going to, let's see if I have done this in here. We can have the connection ID. So normally it's like this. We have to store the connection ID for this socket connection somewhere in a state store, not statically in here, because we are using Kubernetes, and then the other replicas will not know about it. And then here in the clients, we have to identify which client is that, and then send the message to. So we could do that, but for now let's just try this. So it's hub context and clients, but all of them send async. The method is like notification. This is what we have to listen on the front end, and I think we also can do data. So this and the cancellation token. So what are we going to send is just simply a message, and it is from request.message. And just do a wait here, and this should do it. Return the task that from result unit that value. And on the front end, we have to now connect to this. So now let's adjust the connection to see if the connection works too. cd notifications service. Okay, cd notification service, and then notifications that service code here. Let's see if we can connect. I think we can also test it online. Let's see. So we have test WebSocket online. There are some websites which will let you do that. So since we are also running on HTTPS, we can use that port. So it will be like localhost port 7202 and notifications. So connection established, the connection works, and we can go on. So we have to get the npm package for it, and here we go. Signalar would be like the latest one and should be from Microsoft. Is it the one? I would know if it is the one if I see the it doesn't feel like this one. Let's see what are the Microsoft documentations for it. The client's object, this is on the C# side. Strongly typed hubs, actually it was here. Java clients, no. Server tutorials with TypeScript, no. So data new npm npm I D clean webpack, no. Microsoft Signaler and types, no. So let's see npm.js. I want to see the documentation on this. And that the fact that this is still download, so the fact that the downloads are higher explains it, and the version also matches. Yeah, that's it. That's the one we need. I don't know if we need the types. No, we don't need the types. I don't know why they were adding the types. So let's go on. I'm going to set up the connection, not here. I'm going to set it up on app.vue. So here I'm going to set up the connection. So let's see. And actually we can also go to .env file, view app WebSocket base URL WS. I'm going to use the one without the certificate because I'm connected to the Kubernetes service directly, and it's on port 5000. So yeah, there's no certificate on my pod in Kubernetes. So npm run serve, and let's see. Okay, so import signaler from Microsoft signaler. Let's see if this is the one. Let's actually change this to components, to the class component. I was used to this before, but now it's a little bit strange. Property operator, export default class app extends view, and we don't need this anymore. So unmounted, I'm gonna check signaler dot hub connection. Okay, dot hub connection builder. Okay, so it is that simple. So let's say this dot, or actually it doesn't also matter. I can just do this, and then with type is there, right? Yes. And it says with URL, yes. Let's add this. Signaler, that's hub connection builder. Is it a new? Yeah, it's new. That's fine. With URL. Process that env view app env and notifications connection and that build connection that on not reconnected, that on close on reconnected, reconnecting on close, connect detect the connection. Okay, you have to start it. Connection that start, and then WebSocket is connected, or connection is down. We want to show a nice message, so we are going to use this I don't know if I still have it with TypeScript. No, I don't. So, I don't have it here, but let's see. npm beautify floating message. I don't know if I've added TypeScript to it or not. No TypeScript. Okay. So what can we do for a nice message? So for now, let's just we could create, let's go to Vuetify. Vuetify has a components called snack bars. Let's see if we can stack them. Snack bar. This will open a snack bar. Yeah, it has an activator, but it does show just one at a time. I want to have multiple snack bars. So let's see. We could do this. So this way we have to push the messages. Let's see. The thing is that we have the connection.on and the method name is notification, and we are going to receive a message there. And if I'm correct, let's see, not this one. And this is the data. Yeah, first we have to actually see what is inside this data. Let's see, what is it? Message dot. It could be simply the data that we want. Okay. So let's create we can have messages. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see what will happen. Messages, and it is a array of the text, string, and display, which is boolean. I'm gonna describe why I'm doing this very soon. And then when this comes, I say this, that messages that push message. Normally for this you can use this library. I'm going to probably extend it, the one that I showed, and the reason that it doesn't have any downloads mostly is because that it doesn't have any support for TypeScript. Beautify floating message. So the plan with this library is that you can do this message, error, info, success, and so on without creating a new component inside here. It will inject automatically. But since we don't have that, we have to do the change here. And now we can also actually test it without without actually receiving a socket. So let's go on and see how this would work. So we are going to say v snack bar, and it is a v4, and message index in messages, and the v model for this is the message that display, and the key is the index. And I think now we can show the message.text. So let's see if this would work. Let's actually add a button too. And message. We want to test the messages. So we are going to add message. And this messages that push text. This is a test message and display true. I have to display true because I want that, so I'm going to have a lot of messages and I want that the snack bar goes away on its own. This is not the way to do it, because then after a while we will have a really big array until they reload the page, where we can actually also remove it when the snack bar disappears, but still you have to do it like with that component that I showed, which doesn't have TypeScript support right now. So let's see. We have this, so we have our messages, but unfortunately they are not loading on top of each other, and I like them to be shown on the right side. Let's see if I can do that. Yes, and then the color will be success, maybe green or something. Yes, and now I want them to stack. So let's see if it is possible. Get started. No. Snack bar. Let's see the code. Stacks content on top of the action button. No, this is not what we need. And I want to see if they will disappear. Yep, they do disappear. Timeout is 5000, but that's fine. I want them to stack on top of each other. Elevation, centered, bottom, absolute, app, restrict boundaries, and content class, dark, elevation. Apparently it's not possible. That's a shame. Let's see something. Component towards the button. It's just a boolean. Height, no. Left, right. Max height, right. Rounded. Let's check quickly. Make the snack bars to stack. How did you do this? Let's see. Style. Margin button. Called margin. I don't think if that exists. But let's see. Yep. Probably having an error. calc margin is here, of course. Here we can, that's right, that would work. So index number and this should work. Or won't work because of this. But now the indexes, so the next one will start from the top. So we kind of have to have the so let's see how can we remove the one which is being faded. So let's see if Vuetify has let's see, Vuetify there. Let's see if it has an event which we can use. No, it doesn't. You never know when it is done. So technically this won't work unless as soon as we show it, we remove it. But the issue is that if we remove it, it will cause an issue. How can we do this? If we remove this, how can we remove the message after we are like gone? I think maybe, don't know. Next tick. So we say start from the last message. So this that messages that length, and then remove one, and set it to this that messages. What is this one? That next tick, it's not this one. So let's see how this would solve the problem. It won't, because it is removing that immediately. So it means that it should remove the last one if it exists, but the problem is that the last one is always with messages with length is higher than 1. Then remove the first one always. We have to okay, so I did some changes on the snack bar, so it disappears and also resets the position that they're going to load. So this change needed because I was stacking the messages in an array. Normally you wouldn't need to do that, and just you need to load the messages independent of an array. So now if I do this and wait, they will go away, and then I can like load another one, new ones, and doesn't matter how much, they will eventually all go away. So now let's actually deploy this. So let's deploy this and see how will this work. And maybe I will just start it, and we are going to go to our, so I expect that as soon as we deploy, we are going to get 3 messages. And let's see if our assumption is valid. So Docker, let's see the last version, I think it was 2, we have to have 3. Docker, this is the same, .NET build, C release, .NET publish, C release, Docker build tag, not service 100 rc3, and the current Docker file. Docker save O, not service 00 rc3, and service rc3. Okay. Docker load. And I think we can also, on the connection, I think we can configure with automation with automatic reconnect. So let's see now. We don't need that button anymore, but I think it will now try to reconnect always. Undefined reading, hub connection builder. Signal R is undefined. Undefined. Let's make sure that we are going to have it right. Worker connection. So what do we have inside? Pub connection builder, so I will not need this. And let's see this now. Shop UI. Okay, something happened. Fetch API cannot load this. WS is not URL scheme. WS is not supported. Failed to complete negotiation with the server. Failed to fetch. Stock national. Failed to complete in. Well, the server is not there, so let's also see the WebSockets. It didn't make any WebSocket connection to where we want. I don't think so. And this is going to be also a little bit tricky. It is not to port 5000. Also, it is to port notification service. It's port 5002. That's also something to take into account. Let's run again. And now let's deploy. Let's actually see what will happen. Deployments. Config. RC3. Let's see, WS is not supported for WebSocket. Signar. Yeah, it can be that the connection is not there. So let's see. Kubernetes date. Pods. Nope, it wasn't that. And I think we lost our messages. We actually should also reset this for our connection. I think I cannot also try WSS, but let's see. Notification received, message payment status changed. This is from before. And the new ones will be also received, but I'm not. I'm in the payment service. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. This is interesting. Let's try with HTTP. But something is telling me this is the old one, or because this is not a connection we want. We need a full URL. Let's see. Okay. It has course errors, so let's go fix the course errors again. Okay, so I did some changes to the backend. The backend now actually supports origins. I had to hardcode for now the URL, the origin I'm going to connect to. You have to put it normally in the app settings. And with WebSockets, you must, I don't know if it's like a rule from Microsoft, so it's not like allowed all origins, because it actually it's not from Microsoft. So since it expects the allow credentials, the allow credentials doesn't work with any origin, so you have to have origins specified. So now let's see. I have not deployed it yet. I've prepared it for the deployment, so now let's change the version. Here, config, sign in, deployments, not service, RC4, and let's see. Are we connected? Yeah. I mean, it is deployed. Is it pending? Fetch. Yes. Let's see, why is it pending? Open here. Let's look at the. Okay, that was the reason. Okay, so now we are connected. And I think we should have also a WebSocket to this. Yes. So, but I think our messages are consumed. So we cannot see any messages unless we actually, fulfill one payment. So to fulfill one payment, we have to open Postman. I think the idea of the payment was 2, and the service is running on port 5001. So let me see if we have it from before. Payments is a put method, and this status is. So let's see what will happen to this. It's a 404. Okay, 5001. As you see, I did receive it. So yeah, the message. So but I received the message from the backend. But now actually, so let's see. It contained a message. So this means that this is wrong and this is right. So let's try again. What we are going to do is that going to products, buy something, and check out. Yep. I think here we also have to receive a message, but I'm not sure. Let's see if we got an error. No. this is the message that we got. The message was this and the number of order. But now a payment is probably created, and now we are going to change this to 3. Payment status change. It's paid. Order 4. So as you see, we are actually receiving the messages, and this is the whole cycle. But now the issue, so there are a lot of issues to this, but I just wanted to show how the connections with Dapr and so on work. So like the payment service doesn't know about right now pushing notification. It just says I finished with this, and like I have this notification to send, and the notification service says, okay, I will send it however it's needed to be sent. This is the concept, and as you see, all of these services, so none of them can run a standalone. So they have to work together to create an application, to create a shop. And this is, and on the front end, mostly they get together. If you use the REST APIs, it's a little bit tricky, because when you have different services, you probably need to create a REST gateway, and creating a REST gateway could be a little bit tricky, and it gets a little bit messy. So that's where you could use GraphQL, and then each of the services, like the order service, the inventory service, the payment service, they all can have their own GraphQL schema. And then you can have one GraphQL gateway, and then use GraphQL schema stitching. So if I open Hot Chocolate, GraphQL schema stitching, with this one you can actually get together the schemas from different applications, and then your front end really doesn't know where the data is coming from. It will only be handled by GraphQL. But this is something that we can cover later, and I will push the code on GitHub so you can check it out. And yeah, so that's it. And I hope you enjoy it, and let me know what you think in the comments, and have fun coding.